A Peshwa was the equivalent of a modern prime minister in the Maratha Empire. Originally, the Peshwas served as a subordinate to the Chatrapati, but later, they became the de facto leaders of the Marathas, and the Chatrapati was reduced to a nominal ruler. During the last years of the Maratha Empire, the Peshwas themselves were reduced to titular leaders, and remained under the authority of the Maratha nobles and the British East India Company. All the Peshwas during the rule of Chatrapati Shivaji and Chatrapati Sambhaji belonged to Deshastha Brahmin family. The first Peshwa was Maratha, who was appointed as the head of the Deshastha Brahmin by Chatrapati Shivaji, the founder of the Maratha Empire. The initial Peshwas were all ministers who served as the chief executives to the king. The later Peshwas held the highest administrative office and also controlled the Maratha Confederacy. Under the Chatrapati Brahmin family, the Peshwas became the de facto hereditary administrators of the Confederacy. The Peshwa's office was most powerful under Bajirao I. Under Peshwa administration and with the support of several key generals and diplomats, the Maratha Empire reached its zenith, ruling most of the Indian subcontinent. However, after the Peshwa Ragun of Threo allied with the British, the Peshwa's power declined substantially. The subsequent Peshwas were titular leaders and were responsible for the downfall of Maratha Empire due to inefficiency in handling the affairs of the state. Later on, many provinces were controlled and administered either by the Maratha nobles such as ruler.During India or by the East India Company. During this period, the Maratha Confederacy came to its end through its formal annexation into the British Empire in 1818. The title, the word Peshwa, is from Persian Peshwa, meaning foremost leader. After coronation of Shivaji Maharaj in 1674, he appointed Maratha as the first Peshwa. Shivaji Maharaj renamed this designation as Pant Pradhan in 1674, but this term is less commonly used. Today, the surname Peshwa or Peshwa is found both among Chitpavan's Deshma clan, notably Bajirao the first Deshasthas, as well as some Maratha families of Vidarbha. They were also known as kings. Maratha. The first Peshwa was Maratha. His son, Nilopant, also served as Peshwa after his father's death in 1683. Chatrapati, the second Peshwa, Chatrapati, received royal status from Chatrapati Rajaram as Hukamat from 1689 to 1699. He was a sound administrator who rose from the level of a local Kulkarni to the ranks of Ashtapradhan due to guidance and support from Shivaji. Amatya is a Sanskrit term denoting counselor, guide, supervisor or overseer of both personal and governmental affairs. He recaptured many forts from the Mughals between 1690 and 1694, some in person, as well as personally conducting guerrilla war techniques. When Chatrapati Rajaram fled to Gigi in 1689, before leaving from Maharashtra, he gave Hukamat to Pant. Ramchandrapant managed the entire state under many challenges such as the Mughal influx, the betrayal of Bhatandas, and scarcity of food. With his help, Sakiv kept the Maratha state on a sound economic footing. Pant got tremendous military help from Santaji Gorpade and Dunaji Jadhav, the great Maratha warriors. Many times he directly participated in war, especially during 1689 to 1695. He personally recaptured many forts in South Maharashtra from the Mughals and played a role of shadow king in the absence of Chatrapati Rajaram. In 1698, he happily stepped down from the post of Hukamat and Rajaram offered this post to his wife Tarabai. Tarabai gave an important position to Pant in the senior administration of Maratha state. He wrote a book, called Adnipatra, which explained different techniques of war, maintenance of forts and administration, etc. The concepts in Adnipatra and the wisdom and leadership of Tararani greatly helped the Maratha Empire in building the foundation of state. As he was more loyal to Tararani than Shahu, he was sidelined after the arrival of Chatrapati Shahu. Later, the Peshwa post was given to Balaji Vishwanath in 1713. Ramchandra Pant died in 1716 on Panhala Fort. Parshuram Trimbakalkarni. Parshuram Trimbakalkarni was born in a Deshastha Yajurvedi Brahmin family and held the post of Pant Pratinidhi. Later on, he became the Jagirdar of Aun state. He was instrumental in holding the fort Panhala against Aurangzeb. Though he lost the fort then, he recaptured it in 1692. He also captured territories between Miraj and Fort Rangan and also Budagad, Chandangad, Pavangad, Satara and Vasangad. He continued his loyalty towards Tarabai much to the chagrin of Shahu. Shahu imprisoned him twice between 1710 to 1414, but his life was spared by Shahu because of the intervention of Kandobalal, who reminded his king of Parshuram Trimbak's contribution to the Maratha cause. Parshuram Trimbak continued holding the position of Pant Pratinidhi in the time of Tarabai until his death in 1718. He was a devotee of Yamai Devi, of Aund, and had composed poems praising her might. He was succeeded by his son Srinivasrao aka Shripatrayo, who continued albeit as the feudatory Jagirdar of Shahu's Bhatt family. The position moved to the Chitpavan Brahman Bhatt family of Srivardhan in the Kingan region. Upon appointment of Balaji Vishwanath as Peshwa by the 4th Chatrapati Shahu in 1713, the appointment of his son, Bajirao I, as Peshwa in 1719 by Shahu made the position hereditary in the Bhatt family. Bajirao proved his loyalty and patriotism by controlling the feudal chieftains who wanted independence from the Maratha Empire. The rebellion of General Trimbak Rao D. Bhatt, the Senapati, over Chowdhury of Gujarat is one example of such internal Maratha feuds. The followers of Baji and Trimbak clashed at the Battle of Bilhapur on April 1, 1731, and Trimbak was killed. In gratitude, Shahu gave the Peshwas and the Bhatt family unchallenged control over Maratha Empire. The victory in War of Succession with Tarabai led to Shahu becoming Chatrapati. Shahu, who also appointed Baji Rao's son as Peshwa in 1740, gave considerable authority to the Peshwas to command the Maratha armies, and they responded well during his reigns. At the time of his death in 1749, Shahu made the Peshwas his successors under these conditions. Shivaji's descendants, who remained as the titular Raja of Satara, were called Swami by the Peshwas who reported to them, and officially they were to seek guidance from the Raja. However, the Peshwa also became a ceremonial head of state after the Battle of Panipat and the death of Madhavrao. Legacy. The first Peshwa to receive the status of a Pant Pradhan was Ramchandra Pant Amatu Bordeka in 1689 by Chatrapati Rajaram. The first Deshmukh family Peshwa was Balaji Vishwanath Deshmukh. He was succeeded as Peshwa by his son Bajirao I, who never lost a battle. Bajirao and his son, Balaji Bajirao, oversaw the period of greatest Maratha expansion, brought to an end by the Marathas' defeat by an Afghan army at the Third Battle of Panipat in 1761. The last Peshwa, Bajirao II, was defeated by the British East India Company in the Battle of Khadki, which was a part of Third Anglo-Maratha War. The Peshwa's land was annexed to the British East India Company's Bombay province, and Bajirao II, the Peshwa, was pensioned off, appointed and hereditary Peshwas. Notable generals and diplomats of Peshwas.